What is going on, Lego Maniacs? It's Ty the Lego Guy here, and welcome to episode 9 of Ty's Talks, a Q&A series. This one you guys came up with a lot of good questions. First off, like a Lego Dark Age, did I ever have one? My favorite rumored Star Wars set that's gonna come out. Worst Lego theme, which we had, the worst Lego themes before. What's the worst Lego theme? Yeah, even if Friends is stereotypical, a lot of good ones, and they're all over the place, which I appreciate because it makes it more interesting. Anyways, can't wait to get into it. And again, if you guys have questions for next Ty's Talks Q&A series, just leave them in the comments and I'll get to them in episode 10. Anyways, enough talk, let's get right into it. And our first question comes to us from the one and only ObiWan Kenobi. And he asks, hello there, Ty. I ask, what is your favorite set with me in it? So, if I'm going to say my favorite Obi-Wan Lego minifig, it's by far going to be the light up lightsaber, Obi-Wan Kenobi from the lightsaber duel set. Fantastic looking minifig, by far my favorite Obi-Wan. If I'm going to say my favorite set with Obi-Wan in it, probably the 2011 Millennium Falcon. That was just a really good model. And yeah, Obi-Wan was in that set. Anyways, great model. Yeah, that pretty well answers that question. And our second question comes to us from Miha. And he asks, when was your Lego Dark Age? If you had it, what brought you back? So I didn't really have a Lego Dark Age like most people. But when I was around 10 or 11, I did have a month where I was kind of not into Lego. And what happened is my uncle actually offered me $100 to buy my entire collection. Now it was worth a lot more than that, but I was a kid and I wasn't thinking straight. And yeah, I was actually thinking of taking the money. I had a couple other interests going on. I was getting into like boogie boarding and surfing and stuff like that. And I actually really considered, selling off my Lego and yeah, getting more into that. But then I literally thought within that month, I'm like, no, this is stupid. I love Lego. Like, what am I thinking? And yeah, basically since then, I've never had anything remotely close to a Dark Age, but that probably was the closest I ever got to kind of being in one and not being so much into Lego. And then that love just came back. I mean, literally when I looked at the sets on the shelves, I was like, this is ridiculous. Lego's awesome. I'm never gonna do that. Anyways, I hope that answers that. That's the best answer I could give to a Lego Dark Age. And the next question comes to us from the Unknown Brick, and he says, what is your favorite set of all time and why? So I really don't have a favorite set of all time. There's just so many good ones. Part of the reason I put some of these on the desk was because I love them. The UCS Slave 1, the 2013 Republic Gunship, the 2010 Imperial Flagship, all fantastic sets. I also love the Adventurer theme, the Temple of Anubis. There's a number of other really good ones in there. Also, the Super Star Destroyer. Great sets. And why? Basically just because these sets are awesome in their own way. I mean, the Republic Gunship, the 2013, in my opinion, is the best one we've got as of 2020. The Slave 1, the UCS 1, fantastic looking model. The Imperial Flagship, I love pirates. So, I mean, it is just basically a big pirate era ship. And yeah, the adventure theme, just because I love the adventure theme. I mean, I could go on and on answering this question, but I can't really fit into the top 1, but top 10. And yeah, I hope that answers that. And our next questions come to us from Chris. And his first one is have you ever considered designing a set and submitting it for Lego Ideas? I have not. However, with a new MOC coming up, yeah, that's definitely on the table. Maybe I'll try and submit part of it to Lego Ideas. I think that'd be really cool. Yeah, so anyways, great idea. And then this next question is, pineapple on pizza, thumbs up or thumbs down? It's a hard thumbs down. I love pineapple, but I hate pineapple on my pizza. I don't know, I just feel the two things don't mix. I love I love tomato on my pizza, but not pineapple. Yeah, anyways, I think that pretty well answers that. And our next question comes to us from Colin, and he asks, what is your TIE set? TIE Fighter, TIE Crawler, etc. So I'm assuming you're asking what's my favorite TIE Fighter. My favorite TIE Fighter set by far is actually the Lego TIE Fighter collection. That's set 10131. That is a fantastic set. For 70 US, you got 4 TIE Fighters. Now, they weren't the most detailed TIE Fighters, but I mean, where do you get a deal like that? Like, that is incredible. I mean, you got Darth Vader's TIE, 2 standard TIEs, and you even get one from like Legends or the Expanded Universe, where it's kind of like a droid TIE Fighter. That probably is the best TIE set, in my opinion. And our next question comes to us from Scott, and he asks, you've traveled to many different parts of the world. Is Lego as popular in those places as it is in North America? So surprisingly, in Europe, in Asia, and Australia, those are the places I've mainly been to, along with obviously North America, including Mexico. And yeah, I found Lego is actually popular anywhere you go in the world, which is absolutely fantastic. Side note, actually part of the reason I got into Lego, like on YouTube, was just because the community is so awesome. There's so many people around the world that love it. And yeah, it's just generally full of a lot of great people. So yeah, Lego is, it's everywhere. In fact, they get stuff in certain parts of the world, like exclusive sets. At least they used to get exclusive sets, like exclusive Lego magazines that we don't even get in North America. So to answer it basically, yeah, I'd say, yeah, it's very predominant worldwide. In almost every country I've been, kids or adults, you know, they both love it. And we have another question here from Miha, and he asks, choose one Lego theme to collect and build for the rest of your life. So good question. Okay, if I'm gonna answer this loosely, I'm gonna say Lego System. Reason why I say Lego System is that was in the 80s and 90s, that's what they called all Lego sets, like all the classic themes. So I'm talking pirates, castle, space, city. They all fell under Lego System. So if I'm gonna choose one, it's probably gonna be that. I do believe even the first year of the Adventurers, when they went to Egypt, was also part of that theme. If I'm not basing it so loosely, I'm going to say Star Wars. I mean, there's so many great models. I mean, what theme has been around for 20 plus years? That is insane. It will be Star Wars in that case. So anyways, I think that's the best way I can answer that. Great question. And we have a real humdinger from Steven, and he asks, what one theme would you get rid of? Okay, obviously Star Wars. No, I'm kidding. As I answered the last question, right? Like saying it would be the theme I'd want forever. Worst Lego theme. Okay, I had to think about this. Now, we had a question similar to it last episode, and Fabuland was in the mix, but Fabuland actually still used Lego pieces. I'm gonna have to say the one theme I get rid of is Galador. It doesn't make sense as a Lego set. It's not Technic. Like, you know, Bionicles are basically complicated Technic, basically action figure size or a little bit bigger models. Galador is just pieces they've built out of plastic and they've put them together, and each character is made out of like 10 to 12 pieces. Like Galador, it's the one theme I'd get rid of. I would not turn back. Like there's some other bad ones, like I forget the name of the theme with the really big minifigs, and they had Technic builds. It was Johnny something. I forget the name, but that was pretty bad. I didn't like the figs, but at least it was using some component of Lego. I'm gonna have to say Galador just because it doesn't take anything. It doesn't take Technic. It doesn't take normal building blocks to make, you know, the sets. It's just some weird one-off thing, and I'm happy Lego got rid of it. And our next question comes to us from TMC, and he says, I mean, I know this won't happen, but what if Mega Bloks got the Star Wars license from Lego? Would you buy sets from Mega Bloks? So good question. You know, as much as I love Star Wars, and let's say they only made Star Wars Mega Bloks, I'd probably buy them. I mean, I'm a Lego guy, for sure, but Mega Bloks actually has some decent looking themes. Like, the Halo theme actually looks pretty good. They had Pirates of the Caribbean before Lego bought them, and they actually look decent, although we're going back 10 years. Like, they don't look as good as the sets they can do nowadays. So yeah, I'd probably buy it. I don't know if I'd buy them as heavily as I buy Lego sets, just because Lego sets are like my thing, and mixing Star Wars, one of my other favorite things together, just is the perfect mesh for me. So to answer that, I would definitely still buy some Star Wars sets from them. I just wouldn't buy as many as I buy from Lego. And our next question comes to us from Douglas, and he asks, what do you think about people saying Lego Friends is stereotypical? I thought this was a great question, and I have a younger sister, and we grew up playing with Lego, so I think I can answer this actually, you know, probably better than most. I don't think so. I mean, girls generally like playing with dolls, and Legos try to incorporate that with Friends. So I think that's great. Now, Friends wasn't around when my sister was a kid and when I was a kid, but what was around, well, actually slightly before us, was Paradisa. And that was a great theme. As far as Friends being stereotypical, I don't think it is. Lego's just trying to make Lego that will make girls happy, as well as, you know, they make Lego that will help make boys happy. But when me and my sister were growing up, we played with Wild West, we played with space. So Lego's not saying that girls just have to play with this. They can buy boy Lego sets or Lego sets, not even boy Lego sets. But you know, if they want to go into something a little bit more girly, Friends is there. However, where I'd improve on the theme is I'm not a big fan of the Friends minifig. I actually preferred what Paradisa did, where they still use Lego minifigs, and yeah, I just think that the two meshed easier, like normal Lego and Paradisia, than like Friends and Lego, just because the minifigs kind of make a difference. So basically, just to answer that, I don't think Lego's being stereotypical. If girls want to get into, you know, more girl-oriented Lego, that's fine, but they're not saying that girls aren't going to like normal Lego. I mean, they've had almost 20 years from Paradisia to Lego Friends before they had a more geared towards Lego theme that's for girls. Anyways, I hope that answers it. Yeah, I had to think about that one. And our next question comes to us from Loki Lego, and he asks, what announced rumored set are you most looking forward to? So keeping in mind it's a rumor. We don't know 100% if this is happening, but I have heard rumors about it, and I'm super excited. What's rumored to come out is a new Imperial shuttle, and a UCS one. The last time we got this was back in 2010. I'd be thrilled if they remade that set. I never got a chance to pick that one up. I've been kicking myself ever since, and now that they're finally making it, I'm thrilled. So that by far is my most favorite rumored set that Lego is possibly making for a UCS set. Yeah. Anyways, I'm just super excited about it. That by far is my most favorite rumored set. And our next question comes to us from Reed, and he says, if you could get all the sets from one specific year, what year would it be? Okay, so this is a really good question. Now, if I'm gonna answer this, okay, there's a couple of years come to mind, but I basically broke it down to the year 2011. Why I say that year was so great is because, like we just talked about, we had the UCS Imperial Shuttle, we had the UCS Super Star Destroyer that came out in 2011. We also had Castle, and we also had a Pirates theme that came out, you know, in 2010. So we'd still have some of those on the shelves. And then we also got Pirates of the Caribbean Lego in 2011 as well. So you're looking at 3 awesome themes, like really 4. Pirates of the Caribbean, Star Wars were also going super strong. And then you also had Castle and normal Pirates. That by far was a fantastic year. Now, if I want to say a really good year for Star Wars Lego, 2013, that's when this Republic gunship came out. And another really good Lego year was 1999. We had Lego Adventures on the shelves, the first year of Lego Star Wars. We also had even some old Wild West sets that were on the shelves. Like, it was just a great year for Lego as well. That's the best way I can answer that. There's just so many good years, but probably 2011 is probably the best Lego year. And our next question comes to us from Jawa, and he asks, how many 501st Battle Packs will you get? So good question. I'm thinking honestly 5, like 20 501st Troopers that's a good amount. You can do most scenes with it. Even if you want to make a small mock of like Anakin raiding the temple. However, let's say I make a large scale mock and it requires 501st Troopers, I could see myself buying 12, because then you get about 48 501st Troopers. You also have to factor in that every fourth one is a jetpack 501st Trooper. So yeah, probably, but I'm thinking 5 is the golden number. I think I'm going to end up buying 5 of them. And our next question comes to us from Carbon, and he asks, hey, what your favorite and least favorite summer 2020 Star Wars sets? So that's a video in itself. What I'm basically going to do to answer that is just give you my least favorite and my most favorite. My least favorite is the General Grievous Starfighter. It's not a bad looking model, just the minifigs in that are terrible. It's way overpriced. They want 80 US for it. I'm not a fan of that set. My favorite sets that are coming out is going to be the 2020 AT-AT, 501st Battle Pack, and the AAT. Yeah, those are my top 3. I'm definitely going to buy those sets. And our next question comes to us from Clone Commander Studio, and he asks, what's your opinion on the design on the new AAT, and what do you think about the new clone trooper that comes with it? So first off, the AAT. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't think it's a great AAT. In fact, I have a review of the original 2000 AAT, and I think that one, that's 20 years old, actually looks better than the one they have now. I mean, the gun's way too out, the proportions are wrong. It's not terrible looking though. I don't like hate it or anything like some people. I still put it in my top 3 sets that I'm going to buy. As far as the minifigs, like the Ahsoka Trooper, I'm thrilled about it. I think that that's an awesome inclusion. I'm going to buy a couple of those AATs, and I'll try and kind of make, it's not going to be an army, but at least have a couple of those Ahsoka Troopers. Anyways, great question. I think it's good. I think you should buy it. I just don't think the set's perfect. And our next questions come to us from Karmalink, and he first off asks, what do you think about the upcoming LEGO Ideas Blacksmith shop? So I actually think it's a pretty good looking set. I actually had a question like this similar before in a Q&A, and I'm happy that, you know, if LEGO's gonna make this set, I'm thrilled. I'm a big Castle fan. And then as far as, do I think that the Castle and the Force Ideas set will get approved? Oh, I looked at that set. That is an amazing looking model. Listen, LEGO, you know, I think they're getting more going back to their roots. I mean, we just got the Barracuda Bay set, and you know, Lego Castle's another one of those classic themes LEGO's had for years, and a lot of people want these themes back. So I think if this gets upvoted enough, it's gonna make its way into being a LEGO set as well. I mean, we got Barracuda Bay, which is very similar to this Castle in a Forest set. I would not be surprised at all if this set came to fruition. And you know what? I think it actually gets my vote. That's the set that I want. And our next question comes to us from JH, and he by far has the most difficult one to answer. This is the last question as well that we're going to be covering. It says, I have a question for the next episode. What is the worst set from themes you like? Adventurers, Castle, Western, Pirates, that isn't a small set? So we're only looking at big and medium ones. Dude, this one was really difficult. Okay, the first one I came up with, I'm going to say, and I think that this can be considered a medium-sized set. It has 300 pieces. I think that's a medium-sized set, especially for, you know, back in the day. The Knights Kingdom, the Grand Tournament, set 8779, I think is the worst medium to large castle set that's ever been made. I mean, those horses with the wheels, why on earth couldn't they just give the guys like normal horses? I get there's a play function where you can like hit it and then they kind of like smash into each other, which is kind of cool. But still, it just looks so bad. Like, and the build itself, as I'm looking at the picture, the build itself is not very good either. I think that that's the weakest castle set that's ever been made. I'm just not a fan. I don't think it's very good. The next one that I thought we could look at is the LEGO Adventurers. Now, LEGO Adventurers is such an amazing theme. When I say this is the worst set, it's actually not that bad of a set. It's actually pretty good. It's just Adventurers are always like 9s and 10s. And this one is just, maybe it's a 6 or a 7, which is still not bad. I'm gonna go with the 5975 Dino Island model. You know, the boat, it just looks really brick built. I mean, it was like, what, 2003, I wanna say. So this is an old set. The vehicles themselves look good. The dinosaurs look decent. The minifigs are decent. That probably is the worst adventure set in my opinion. The worst Lego pirate set. Again, this is the same thing as adventures. There's not really any bad pirate Lego sets. But if we're saying medium to large, the worst one I think, which is maybe a 6 or a 7, which normally pirate sets in my opinion are like 9s or 10s, like the Imperial flagship's a 10. I'm gonna have to go with the Soldier's Fort 70412. It was a deviation from what a fort should be. A fort is supposed to be like a bigger set. It's always generally been like a pretty big set. This one is just so small and kind of dinky. But it's still not a bad set. It's just, I'd say that that's the worst pirate set. And then for Lego Wild West, I'm just gonna have to flat out say there's not a single bad medium to large Western, like Wild West set. Like, they're all great models. I mean, I kept trying to think, I'm like, if I choose this one, then what makes this other set not as good as the other one? Let's say it shows the Sheriff's Lockup. What makes it not as good as, the Junkyard City set or whatever the set I'm talking about? Or what makes it, any worse than the Goldmine set? It's just, they're all such great sets. And in my books, they're all like 8 to 10s. So I couldn't answer that one. It's actually one of the few themes I think that has not a single bad or even kind of bad set. Anyways, that pretty well does this Q&A series. And again, if you have questions for next episode, leave in the comments. And I'll try my best to get to them. The comments are actually growing a lot, so which is awesome. And I'm trying to get to all the questions you guys left. But anyways, thanks again for watching. Really appreciate it, guys. And if you like this video, leave it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing. And click that bell so you're notified for any future TIE Talks, Q&As we do on this channel. We do them about once a month, maybe once every 4 weeks. But anyways, thanks again for watching, guys. Again, I really do appreciate the support and all the comments, the questions. It's awesome. I love answering them. And you ask questions that I wouldn't generally even like look into, just because it wouldn't come to my mind. And then you ask the question and it's great. I'm learning stuff basically is what I'm saying. Anyways, thanks again, and I'll catch you on the next one.